This channel is owned by Milky. Milky, welcome in. You're now a moderator. Congratulations. Very exciting stuff.
Milky lactate.
You officially entered the wet panty zone.
I shit on you. You're two girls in a cup. You're the scum of the earth, the scum of the internet. The reason why you like ICP is because you actually are the insane clown.
Fuck you, you fucking turtle. Sneaky shit. Fuck you. Don't come on my channel. You're the closest one. I don't hate you. You hate yourself, you fat fuck.
Bullshit, Milky, yo, racist prick. Tony, get rid of this guy. Adios, dipshit. You were warned. Say goodbye to Milky.
It's more predatory than hunting people down, studying their lives, and then rebroadcasting it talking shit.
Mama, the 28-year-old dominatrix from OnlyFans, tells me I'm a worthless whore, and the only food I deserve to eat is tuna fish.
So I want Milky to know you don't get trapped on that pavement. I love you. You don't have to be trapped on the pavement. Free Milky. Or keep her pavement hell.
This is some good water.
Your mama sucks. You better off than you do. I don't know how to explain that.
Hi, Milky. Milky.
You turtle bitch. In here. Fat retard with a gun tipped $1. Fat retards with a gun.
Who tipped?
What? I'm not a fat retard with a gun, and that's very rude.
Who tipped with fat retard with a gun?
Bossman plays of the week.
What's up, hobo? How you doing?
I have one beer left.
Damn. Sorry I came on so late.
Sorry. I had
How you doing today?
A long conversation with a friend that was in San Quentin for probably like an hour.
How was that?
Oh, it's always the same stuff.
Always the same shit? Same shit, different day? Yesterday, welcome, block party, welcome. Yeah.
Just talking about how I grew up in a gang family. I don't know. Watch an Asian man go to prison and then be involved in prison culture is insane to me. But for them to understand all the stuff, that's great. That's awesome. I don't really care. All right, so I have this one torpedo. This like one torpedo. I'm gonna drink it and I'm gonna get off.
Damn. All right.
I've drank 16 beers today.
I sent you an email earlier. It's easier to get a hold of me through email than through the Kick chat because I don't see it unless I open the Kick.
I've never got an email from you.
I emailed you earlier today.
I don't know what you're emailing.
Okay. You sent me an email, and then I responded to it.
I emailed hobo smug bum at Gmail.
Yes.
I've never got one back ever.
I emailed you like 3 hours ago.
Nope, never got one. I can look at it right now. I've never got one.
Okay.
I don't know who you're emailing.
Okay. Why did you say the cops rolled up on you earlier?
Because they were following me.
For what?
Because I was drunk driving around in my van.
Oh, why were you drunk driving in the van?
Well, I was going across the street to get shit, and then I was picking up more beer and cigarettes. But they were following me. That cop was like following everyone. I just waited till he was on the interstate picking up other people before I drove away. I do drive drunk when it is accessible to go do things. And that old man at the liquor store totally scanned his ID. He saw my ID completely not valid. And he scanned his ID to sell me beer.
Hell yeah. That's a nice move.
That guy that guy is a fucking real one.
Hell yeah, he is.
Anyways, what are you doing?
I'm here. I'm chilling. I did my responsibilities for the day, and now I'm free.
Am I the only drunk male in the chat?
Right now, yes. My chat's being weird. I can only see it popping up on the screen. You should have been in here last night. We had a couple of people in here last night. We had Jamberg and Blitblort. Yesterday says, can I ask why so many beers?
Because I'm an alcoholic and I really don't want to share my life.
All right. I suppose the only reason to drink that many beers is to get drunk. I don't see another reason to do it.
Well, I had a pretty good day. Nothing's really shining me away from saving that money. I just really like not being a part of society, and I just, between me and you, I just really want to get fucked up all the time.
Amen. I'll drink to that.
At least, I mean, I could save all that money as a homeless person, probably do something positive, right? Fucking, what are you going to do when you're homeless, right? What are you going to do with that money?
There's not a whole lot you can do with it.
Well, even if I had $5,000, like, what am I going to do with that?
Right.
Where am I going with $5K as a homeless person?
It's not like you can throw down $5K on an apartment because it costs way more than that. You got the first month and your down payment.
I got yelled at earlier by a lady who was trying to tell me panhandling was going to affect her life. I was just like, dude, me panhandling is just going to get me out of here, and you'll never see me again.
Yeah. Where are you headed to next?
I'm trying to sell the van.
You're trying to sell the van?
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of the van.
Do you have a plan for after that?
Like,
are you going to get another vehicle?
And then live off of homelessness.
Mm. Are you going to come later? Up?
Yeah, of course. Me and Tony Hawk are going to meet up, and we have a few states we want to go road dog together in, but it's up to Tony Hawk to show up.
Where is Tony Hawk? He hasn't been back since the last time you guys were on live together.
Tony Hawk is probably depressed hanging out wherever he lives.
Mm.
You can send him a link.
I only have him on Discord. I don't want to give him my phone number, and he doesn't know how to work Discord.
Do you want me to you want to call him?
That'd be beautiful.
Hold on, I'm trying to find later. Really drunk. I've been drinking all day.
Oh,
so what are you gonna do?
I'm on my first. I'm on my first drink. I had to go pick up Troy from work earlier. I watched some YouTube. That's about it. That's all I really do with my life.
All right. Called Tony Hawk. Are you there?
I'm here. Are you here? Did we drop him? For whatever reason, the chat's not popping up in my chat box over here. I might have to exit and come back in. His phone is working. Hobo four hands. There we go. Now the chat's working. Hello. What's up, Straw Bunnies? What's up, McMorphlin? What's up, yesterday? StreamYards has been busted the last couple days. I guess I can get music in the meantime. Oh, he's
right, so Tony Hawk is not answering.
Okay.
He's he's probably like where I left him, or like last time I sent him a couple 20s the other day when I got $100 bill after I got a $50 bill right before on Sunday. And so I sent him a $20 bill to go get booze and cigarettes. And I thought that he was going to meet up with my friends that are coming up from Kentucky into Michigan. And I was leaving Ohio, so I was like hoping. But no, Tony's doing his own thing.
All right. Well, hopefully he's good. I haven't seen him in a while.
He's just depressed. You guys should hit him up. He wants love.
He's always welcome to come. I am limited on how I can contact him.
Contact him on Discord. He doesn't know how to use Discord. That's the other thing. He has no fucking like. If you're emailing me, I have no idea where you're emailing me. I've checked the emails. I don't know.
I responded to the email you sent me, so I don't know. It's gone. It's lost in the ether.
It's all right. I can black out and accept it.
All right.
Ugh. I have this like big bag. Like that's one of the bags.
Can we get a van tour?
Do you want a van tour?
Yeah.
Why? What do you want a van tour of?
I'm just trying to see what you're working with. I don't know.
Usually I do this on. This is the first time I've ever done on a Chrome. How do I spin? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, we can do it. I wasn't able to figure out how to start. Let me see if I have like a remote over here. I haven't figured out how to like actually put the lights on today. You fucked up.
If it's too much of a hassle, don't worry about it.
I guess we can just it's up here. All right. This is a dog over here.
Hell yeah, Bow Wow.
And then we got the clothing area.
It's a nice trunk.
Nice trunk that I pulled out of a abandoned truck stop in northern Missouri.
Hell yeah.
This is the kitchen.
Got the pantry.
Pantry. Oh. This old man that gave me like $200 one time gave me this. And I think it's his like he was catching and releasing animals.
Just like all types, or
I think he was going to properties and catching animals when I met him.
just like animal control type shit?
And that's the solar stuff. And it like follows.
How many panels do you got?
I have 200 watts. It's like probably like 6 amps an hour. If you really like playing with it. Can't turn on the lights. I don't know where the remote went and it won't work. I also have been drinking heavily, so
You're good, no worries. If it's a pain in the ass, you don't gotta pull it all out.
I have 1 cigarette left.
Rip. Chat is asking, what kind of women are you into? Or dudes, we don't judge.
I used to date a Nashville musician. and I used to date a very famous TikToker. So I have dated many women.
Are you a star fucker? Is that the type?
No, I think it just happens that way. You know, people who have a lot of money and have a lot of space just want normal people who get fucked up to hang out with them. And
That
you
is
end
true.
up in relationships, and it's just because you have a good personality. You're not a shitty person. You're just willing to like put in the work of beat. I remember the Nashville musicians stopping with me so I can go dumpster dive food.
Hell yeah.
And when I came back with a bunch of shit, she was just like, "What are you gonna do with that?"
I'm gonna eat it. What do
and
you
her
mean?
being like, we're gonna fry it up in a pan. And she's like, "Bet. Can we do this one thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, totally." And then we go back to her house and I clean everything, and then I fry up zucchinis, and I fry up potatoes, or we make chicken masala.
Hell yeah.
And then she goes and plays Nashville's, what was it, Brannett Hall? Yeah. To hang out being a homeless person, no one understands. But to like actually have girlfriends that make $5,000 a show, people think I'm crazy. Tony Hawk knows what I'm talking about.
Crazy in what way?
Well, you guys can think I'm crazy, but man, who allows a homeless person to hang out with them that long?
A lot of people. Up until he moved back east, I had a buddy that I knew from high school that was homeless that I would hang out with twice a week. I'd fucking get him a meal, let him wash his laundry at the house.
I'm 42 years old now, and when I was younger, all my friends let me stay. I get that. I never dated women when I was that age. I just kind of fucked women and like ran around.
It'd be like that. Everyone's got a hoe phase.
Yeah, but like at some point, like going to the pot farm was more important than having a relationship.
Yeah.
Making
Gotta
good
get
money.
work done first.
We used to leave the pot farm with like $16,000, $20,000. Do you remember Northern California?
Yeah, I was gonna say, was that in California?
Yeah, it was Northern California, like right below Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
The worst part of leaving the farm is having to hitchhike out.
Yeah. I'd imagine it was pre-legalization, so you were like pretty up in the sticks, right?
I remember the guy that gave me a ride wanted to go to the skate park, and he couldn't smell me, and he said that he had like this really bad cold, and so he gave me a ride all the way to Eureka, which is south of Arcata. And he wanted to go to Arcata and go to the skate park. He was a skateboarder. And I was like, I need to stop and figure out what I'm doing, and I'll meet up with you. And when we met up, he was still skateboarding. He was just he died of cancer a couple of years later.
Rip.
But he was just like ripping the skate park as much as he could. And when I showed up, I was like, I have this much weed. I can pay for this. We talked like he brought me back to his house. I think it was mom's house, in my opinion. And we smoked a bunch of cannabis. And then I took him to the Lost Coast Brewery and we got drunk. It was the last time I saw him.
Did you at least have a good time with him the last time you saw him?
I think he did. I don't know if I did.
Well, that's all that matters. The dead man had a good time.
He died a couple years later of cancer.
It's unfortunate. It takes out the best of them.
Well, I mean, he came down from like one of the areas that you just don't really like hang out at. Like you don't go up there unless you're like working. So, what does the chat say?
Chat is trying to figure out what TikTok star, but I'm not going to ask you to answer that because I know people respect their privacy. They say, "Oh my God." I think "Oh my God" was referring to the cancer.
The TikTok star was Steph and Clover. Ha 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 ha! No way. I would never date. I would never date Steph. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't date some chick like that.
Mm.
You're sure you can figure it out, guys?
I don't go on TikTok, so I have no idea who's even the famous people on there right now.
Oh, they have like all these like really weird, what's the word? Reddit groups or whatever. Gotta like figure out how to turn the lights on. The cops have already been here twice.
Have they told you to move on?
No, they just got mad at me for being drunk.
Oh.
One of them said that I was driving around, and I told them I wasn't.
Well, yeah, you're sitting in the back of a parked van.
They closed the gas station, so that really stopped me from getting more booze. And my buddy called. He has been in Orange County being a degenerate for most of his life. Work? Oh, there it goes. All right, cool.
Hell yeah, we got the lights.
Lights, guys.
Can we get a W in the chat for the lights?
Can someone make fun of me really quickly? Do I need to grab a big bag of weed and show everyone?
If you want to. I got my partial bag of weed.
So mad at me.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's the end of an ounce.
I got
so
about,
I got like quarter ounce.
I got about a quarter left. I got a quarter ounce left.
Pull one of them buds out. I want to see one. Pull a big
It's really
one
cheap weed. It's really cheap weed. I'll pull out a big one. Hold on.
out.
This is one of those $20 an ounce.
An ounce of Mac 1, and I had so many points from buying ounces. Prior to that, the bud tender was like, hey, that looks really nice. The bud tender was like, hey, you literally have this much of the points. And I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, you get a free ounce.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, bet. Give me the top shelf one. And so I bought an ounce of Mac 1 for $1.
It's not bad at all.
It was on sale because it was a top shelf and it was $70 or something. I've been smoking on that for a month.
The bigger pot farm that I worked at was actually named Top Shelf. I haven't been there for multiple years though.
Name a weed farm Top Shelf.
Yeah. The guy that owned it was super weird. He's an ex-alcoholic. So when people got hired, he would do the drug test, but he wasn't testing for pot. He was testing to see if you were all, like tweaking or how much alcohol was in your system, because he got the panel that checked the alcohol in your system also. I don't know why he was checking for the alcohol, maybe to like weed out people that drink enough that they have a large amount in their drug test. And then also he was selling the ounces in pounder glasses. He like had to get a custom patent for her lid to fit over a pounder glass so that he could sell his ounces in a pounder.
It's
And
really
all the
weird.
2 grams were in little shot glasses with lids on them.
If you're talking about concentrate, that make a lot of sense, but like flour,
No, it was like
that's just insane.
2 grams of flour in a little shot glass.
When I had left my last farm, which was where I got my dog, the guy wasn't selling any weed. He was selling it to big pharma, and he would tell us if you wanted weed, we could just grab out of the bag and
Hell yeah.
put it in our satchels and just leave with it. Like he didn't care.
There
At
was
the
one
time,
time,
I was in a certain part of Oregon where they didn't have, like, there's a CBD farm, and so every other string was weed. And that's how they grew it during the pandemic. They grew it as CBD, but every other string was weed.
Just to like sell under the table, or was that just for the farmers to take?
No, I'm pretty sure he sold it however he did, but I never really cared. I don't know how he sold it. He used to be the guy that showed up all over the country with a U-Haul and sold Delta 8. CBD sprayed with whatever you guys bought. I never had to do. He used to give us weed. I remember me and my girlfriend would smoke this weed, and he would be spraying the weed with a bunch of shit. And he's like, "Hey, here's this bud." And I remember me and my girlfriend would go back to the truck and sit in the back and try to smoke, and it would start on fire. Like every time we smoked it, it would start on fire, and we'd be like, "Oh, we don't like this." Well, we get like really high and be like, "This isn't normal. Like this is a normal high." I would have to go drink some beer and be like, "Oh, we can't smoke this," and we'd smoke it every night and be like, "Oh my god, like why did we smoke it again?"
Was he spraying pesticides on it?
No, he had like a one of those Harbor Freight sprayers, and I think he had a bunch of concentrate from real weed that was put down, like mitigated by between alcohol and the concentrate. He could spray it. I think he's just spraying a bunch of CBD with extensive amounts of concentrate.
It's crazy.
Whoa.
At the smaller one that I worked at, so the way that the pot shops work here is they can only hold flour in the pot shop for up to a year, and then they have to send it back to the farm. So we got a delivery back from a bunch of weed that didn't sell because it was from a really bad crop and it was really like larvae and looked like shit. And I think they sent back like 30 ounces, and I went home that day with 14 ounces of weed. And I fucking smoked it. I don't care. I'll smoke dirt shit. But that was the most I've ever had in my own personal possession at one time.
I left a pot farm one time, and I tried to leave 3 days in a row. And eventually I found the guy that bought the 1988 Back to the Future truck. And he was cool. I liked him. We all partied. I had ate acid with them and shotguns and whatever. He went down to the trim room, and I poured out all my Nalgene water bottles. And I had put in my t-shirt, I took my t-shirt off and like put them in him right in front of him and like dried them out. And I was like, I want you to fill these. And he's like, all right, let's go to the trim booth. And so we went to the trim booth, and he made them shove every bud they could into it. And so me and my dog ended up with like a 1/4 pound of weed. We didn't have any water when we hitched. And when we got down to Eureka, I ended up hitting on my boss and being like, "Oh, you owe me like $2,600 or whatever." He, from where I was staying at the motel, made me walk to his house, which is like full of gang members. That's a big thing. And when I got there, he paid me out, and my dog and his dog like attacked every male. But my dog at the time was like really good. They just got along. I think that's why we were friends. Because his dog wouldn't attack me because my dog has hurt his dog. They're friends. They're like Nordic dogs, huskies, Malamutes, stuff like that. But hanging at his house, he gave me another half pound. And I was leaving with my dog. And I remember him being like, "You're just going to walk to where you're going?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Well,
like,
yeah, you walked there.
And he's like, those Serenios are going to kill you. It's like, okay. So I walked with my dog back to the main 101 and walked back over to the hotel or motel I was staying at. And we found bed bugs that night. And me and my dog pulled everything out, went to the front desk. They wouldn't give us another. So we just went and slept on the 101. Me and my dog. We just put everything in the backpack and slept on the side of the road. And he came back the next morning and found us. I think he was on his way to get like eggs and bacon or something stupid. But he saw us and he brought us back to the house and was like, "I cannot believe you have taken this much money and this blah, blah, and you're sleeping on the side." It's like, there's bed bugs in the motel room.
You're not going to want to get a new room in that motel because they got bed bugs too.
So we ended up hitchhiking out that night up towards O'Brien, Oregon. That was our general direction, O'Brien, Oregon. There's two O'Briens. There's one in California, and there's one in Oregon. The one in Oregon's like the big one you want to go to. That's where hippity dippity shit happens. That's where like Grateful Dead people hang out.
Okay.
I ended up like just traveling around selling that weed like very slowly. We never really told people how much weed we had. We just kind
of course,
gave it away or sold it like really cheaply.
Why would you tell people how much weed you have when you're hitching? They're gonna fucking come get you.
Well, why would you tell people when you're selling them like weed how much weed you have? It was really all Cookies Platinum. It had a pepper smell in his grind. It was all Cookies Platinum. I think there was a little bit of it was like Pink 2.0, and that was insane weed, and that was personal weed. No, when you rip the buds in half, they were pink.
Okay. I've seen some of those before.
That's what Homeboy was growing on, like his yurt. We were really into it. We were just like, "Dude, how is it doing that?" And he's like, "I don't know, but I got like 17 plants." And when I left, I got like a little bit of it, and I was just like, "Dude, I can't share that with too many people."
Yeah. We had I think it was called Pike something. It was a triple P on the label. It was Pike something. But when you cracked them open, they're supposed to be purple, but it wasn't really purple. It was more of a pink on the inside of the nugs.
I ended up in Central Oregon for a while. And then when I came down, hitchhiked south, I tried to hop a train, but all the traffic just was going north and I was going south, so I just gave up. And when I got down to Klamath Falls, there was a train that was like sitting. And I was like, bet. Like, I watched it come in south, and I was like, dude, I'm going to go get in this bitch. And when I went down, there was one unit right in front, and all of these homeless kids came out of it. There was like 6 of them. And they're like, come get into the unit with us. And I was like, nope, not getting to you guys.
It's too hot, man. Too many people.
Well, I looked down the line, and there was 2 kids that got off the front of it. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to go back to the highway. And when I got there, I put my thumb out. This lady picked me up. And she has a company called Ozone Organics. I think you look it up. Ozone Organics. She picked me up, and her best friend, who I think's in like the info area or whatever, Eric, or I ended up getting a ride with her to like, I think it was not Mount Shasta, but Dunsmuir. They explained it was cheaper to live in Dunsmuir than Mount Shasta or something. They had a house, and the guy had AIDS, complete AIDS. And he had showed me a picture when I got there, and he had like more muscles than I did. And he was like, oh, I did this ozone treatment and blah, blah, blah. And so we traded like a bunch of concentrate together. Look up Ozone Organics. I want to see.
I did look it up, and what it's showing me is a health food store in Australia or a health food store in New Zealand.
Okay, so it's like Ozone Organics and like Mount Shasta. They still sell it. Like there's one Toxis one. Do you have Facebook?
I do. I'm looking up in Mount Shasta now to see if it changes. Oh, yep.
Now look up. Now look up. I could tell you a toxic person like starts fights with everyone on Facebook that is like backed him, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'd be so like taken back if like this toxic person is saying to everyone to like get it.
How much beer you got left?
I have 9% IPA I'm drinking on. And I have 1 cigarette. And I'm holding on until I just smoke that cigarette.
I wish I could send you an open gas station.
I don't know if that gas station's open, but I don't want to go over there. There's a bar. I guess it's a bar. I don't want to go to that bar. The dog's pissed.
Your dog's pissed?
Yeah, she just woke up. She's upset.
Damn.
She wants to go outside and like chase things, do dirty things.
Is she good off leash, or do you gotta leash her up?
She's great off leash. She's good. But I gotta worry about her. She ain't run off. She knows who is her best friend. God, my last dog, yeah, he would run off, but he was just chasing motherfuckers. He was a husky. He lived to be 15. He lived to be 15.
We took in a dog that we found in Gary, Indiana, and we thought that she had like recently had puppies because her teats were hanging low. We just didn't know where they were. And I think like 2 weeks after we took her in, she had puppies. So she was pregnant. She was just so fucking malnourished. We couldn't tell she was pregnant. But we brought her to Washington when we moved, and she saw a deer for the first time in her life. And she tried to chase it down, even though she was like a quarter of the size of the fucking deer. I don't know why she immediately thought kill, but that thing would have fucked her up if we didn't stop her.
So I had this buddy when I lived in Central Oregon named Wiley, and he had a dog. Man, he had this dog that's a Great Dane. It got along with my dog, and my dog didn't get along with any dogs. So when they got along, it was like his name was Peaches, and I had a couple home bums be like, "Dude, those dogs are made to be friends," because they'd watch them just like run around together and play, and they'd be like, "Those are friends." So Wiley got ran over in 2005, 2006 by an EMT. And so the EMT ran over Wiley on his way up from Central Oregon up into, let's say, Century Drive or whatever. He was a dishwasher. He worked as like some type of cleanup crew for a restaurant. And when he got ran over, the guy that ran him over saved his life. He took his belt off and ripped his leg off, really. And so he was an EMT driver. You know, he knew how to save him. Well, little did he know that was going to make Wiley be a millionaire.
Oh, shit.
He saved Wiley. He saved Wiley's life, and EMT drivers have a couple $1 million like insurance policy. And Wiley ended up hitting his head really hard, and I don't think he was the same person as when he woke up, and he ended up getting a prosthetic leg. And I remember Wiley without I used to hitchhike there all the time, but eventually got a prosthetic leg, which probably cost like $300,000 or something crazy. And he got a couple vehicles and flipped and rolled them. Eventually, we ended up hanging out, and our dogs got along. And we'd always wonder what's wrong with Wiley, but like Wiley's dog hated every dog, but he loved my dog. And he lived in downtown Bend and rent these like strange places. And I'm gonna tell you, those are places in my heart that I don't think I'll ever be able to go again. Like the dude's literally living on top of like an Airbnb, and they're getting super plastered, eating LSD, and then like hanging off of it with ropes. Like Wiley just did weird shit all the time. He'd bring a bunch of people home from the bar, and they realized there was no party. He would try to party now, folks. He would try to get him to play like Dungeons and Dragons with them or something weird. And when I would wake up after a long drunk, I'd be like, "Hey, let's go to the bar." And we would go to every bar that was open at 7 a.m. And he would get kicked out of every one as soon as you walked in. And I'd be like, "Dude, how many bars have you been kicked out of?" He's like, "Everyone." Damn. Or in his voice, "No, every one of these bars do not want me involved in blah, blah." And it's like, "Hold on, let me get you a to-go." And so, like, I would get I'd get a Bloody Mary or like a morning like hangover drink. And I'd be like, "Can you put it in like a styrofoam cup?" Like, "Oh yeah, totally. And I'd be like, "Fill it up, put more vodka in it." They'd be like, "Oh, is this for you?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's totally for me. I'm gonna leave." And I'd pay for it, and then I'd walk outside and be like, "Here, Wiley." And Wiley's like, I got a Bloody Mary." And I was like, "Yeah, you can totally have a Bloody Mary. I'm gonna go to the next bar." I mean, we had been eating Adderall all night. I should say that.
So would you just bar hop and bring him out a drink from every bar?
Well, no, we had been drinking all night. Wiley would go and dumpster dive the Deschutes Brewery, and he'd come back with 30 or 40 beers with no labels that were Deschutes. It was Black Butte Porter. And so he would end up with all these Black Butte Porters. And I would just show up with a bunch of beer that I had bought overnight, just being drunk, spanging and asking people for money. And meanwhile, we would like party. And sometimes our friends would show up, sometimes random people. But dear God, Bend, Oregon was a real fun time.
Hell yeah.
I can never deny Wiley. What's up?
Were the beers skunked out since they were in the dumpster?
Usually I didn't really notice. The beers were a dark porter. So if you've ever drank a dark porter, I've never had a good one. So I don't know if they were skunked.
So they just already tasted like shit, so you can't tell if they're skunked? I got you.
They just don't taste good. A couple of my friends show up to like drink beer, and they ran out of beer, and they were drinking the porters, and like, what's wrong with them? Like they're 5% dark. You're gonna shit black if you drink too many of them. You know how I explain to you? They are not made for you to drink 7 of them. You're supposed to like drink 3 of them and be over. Am I wrong?
I don't think so. I'm just curious why they were in the dumpster.
So if the label came off or they didn't meet up with the bottle topping, they would end up in the dumpster. Same thing with Crux or I mean, I used to go to a bunch of dumpsters and like just pull up beers all the time. Eventually, when the Tweaker Revolution happened, this had to have been 2014, 2015. Eventually, when the Tweaker Revolution happened and banned, you couldn't do that. They put up huge fucking fences. And they started putting up signs saying you were prosecuted. Back in the day, you know, you could get away with it.
Yeah.
But once there was a huge homeless population that was doing that, it changed. Unfortunately.
Well, they're gonna, even though it's a pain in the ass, they're gonna try to do what they can to make the homeless people go somewhere else, which is why they make those types of laws.
Well, you can look at it like they took China Hat. I mean, there's like so many documentaries about it. There's a guy that goes around Oregon completely negating what's going on and just showing like homeless people. That's what he does. I could not wait. If I go back to Oregon, I cannot wait till I run into that guy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Me and that guy,
gonna learn them.
We're talking hate crimes right there.
Yeah. People have asked me to go around and like film the homeless people down in Seattle. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that. If the only way I would go reach out to a stranger and be like, let me make a video with you, is if I had something to offer them and payment to give them for their time. I'm not just gonna go ride around and be like, look at all these fucking homeless people out here.
I just can't see it going very well. And I've had it happen many times where I get influencers that want to talk to me and I'm just talking to them being like, I don't want to be filmed and blah, blah. And they're antagonizing me. And out of nowhere, some bar goer walks up and just punches them.
Hell yeah.
And I watch the fight and I'm just like, dude, thank you. And then when the cops show up, they look at me and I'm just like, hey, I'm still sitting in the same spot. I didn't see anything. You didn't see this guy get beat up? And
I didn't
like,
see
no.
shit. I didn't hear shit.
I got a really cool sushi plate though.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been homeless, but I mean, you don't narc on the people that care about you.
Absolutely.
And Bend used to be a really fun place. It sucks now. You can't go there and do all the cool stuff. We used to party. Oh. We used to end up in like crazy houses. And no one ever cared.
Why would they?
Milky, do you go and party with people? Do you like get out of the house?
Not as often anymore. When my sisters were around, I would go hang out with them, but I don't like the bars around here so much.
When's the last time you partied with real people?
I want to say either last month or the month before, I went to a bonfire with a couple of people I used to work with.
So like a month ago.
Yeah.
I don't
do a whole lot of getting out.
Well, I picked up some hitchhikers, put it that way. I picked some hitchhikers like a month ago and went to the bar together. And they knew like the karaoke people for some reason. And so that was cool. But I was like, how do you know that? And they're like, my sister lives here. I think we're in like Illinois or something. But that was like a month ago. Last time I went to a bar like that was probably Ohio.
I didn't go to any of the bars in Ohio. I went into a convenience store to buy Four Locos, but that's about it.
God, I wish Tony Hawk picked up his phone. He'd be so friendly with this. He told me the other night that he hitchhiked back to he entered the bar near his house and they all bought him booze, and then he had to walk through the trail that he had made from his house to the bar. And he was like, it was raining so bad that I didn't know where I was going. His long story about getting back to the house. And it's like, what did you do when you got back to the house? He's like, I just went in one of the vans and went to sleep. And then someone woke me up when they started it. I was like, I love you. I love you so much.
Gotta get out of the rain somehow.
He sent him like $20 as soon as he called me. I was like, oh, $20. Go get beer.
It's nice.
Love you. I made $170 that day in an hour.
That's not bad for Spain.
It was a great day.
You got any plans for tomorrow?
Is yesterday making fun of me yet?
No, she hasn't said anything in a minute.
Is anyone making fun of me? No one's making fun of me.
McMorflin says
I
like Happy Drunk Hobo Guy. That's the last comment about it. I like Happy Drunk Hobo Guy.
Tomorrow? I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to black out tonight, and then I have 2 spots to go tomorrow, but I'm not really planning on. I miss my friends. My friends are on their way up from different places, and someone's going to buy my van, and I'll figure that out tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing I did today.
I hope the van thing goes well.
I hope I got to sell this van. Fuck this van.
Is she on the way out?
It has nothing to do with that. It's just my dog died, and I kept my dog up till he's 15 years old. And the only reason we had the van was because he was elderly. And he had a good spot, and I loved him. But 4 months ago, he died. And it's been 4 months that I've been living in this fucking van with my small dog. And I don't want it. it's not. The memories alone are not helping.
Right. I can imagine
Just
how
gotta
it'd be
get rid of
difficult
it.
to continue to live in it.
Just gotta get rid of it. I'll buy another van, buy a pickup truck or something, but can't do it anymore. I don't know how you feel about parting ways with one of your best friends, but to hold them in the van while they died, I just don't want to live in this van anymore.
I can understand that.
That was a horrible experience.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I've never watched an animal die. Until that day. And that was the most horrible thing I've ever watched in my life. And I don't want anything to do with this van. Someone else might be totally cool with that. And all the shit talkers in the chat, eat a dick. Watch
Chat's not even talking shit.
Die. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, watch your dog die. It was a hard one.
Someone says trade it for a Camry or a Taurus. They run forever. I don't know. My Taurus died. I ran that bitch into the ground. It was not running by the time I got rid of it. I did replace the fucking water pump a lot of times, though, before it died.
Ford Tauruses are made for three things: fat chicks and bad mileage.
Yeah. I got it for free, so I can't complain.
Are you a fat chick?
I am a fat chick. I am. You can't tell by fucking looking at me? Let me back up a bit. Let me back up. You see this big shit?
I can't tell. I can't tell you're a fat chick at all. Tony Hawk's always like, I really like Milky. I'm like, Tony Hawk really likes fat chicks. So
people are entitled to their types.
I think you just tell by your face.
Some people. I don't carry a lot of weight in my face. I got a little bit of a chin going on, but I mostly carry it in my apron gun.
Why are we the only people in panel?
Bliplorp can't drink today. I have posted the link for other people to join. 7 of you. 1 of you join right now. All 7 of you watching. Someone click this link.
No, I'm gonna finish my beer and I'm gonna finish my drunk and then I'm gonna get off.
All right.
Well, no, I can't go buy
you coming to hang
more
out.
beer. I really like hanging out. I like talking to Milky.
What? You said that gas station is closed? What time did they close?
Well, it's 12:30 here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
I always
they
forget that
close at,
everyone's
like,
in the future.
11. No, we don't. We all don't live in Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm very.
I mean, I don't live in Seattle,
astonished
but I'm
the
close.
cops didn't come back. I've talked to the cops twice since I've been here. Nice cops. Never really run me, but at the same time, I'm just like, dude, we don't need to talk.
I think as long as you're not causing a problem, they don't want to do the paperwork, so they'll leave you the fuck alone.
Usually just want to run my name to see if I'm a molester or a shitty person. But they didn't
Just
do
doing
that.
a warrant check.
Yeah, they didn't even that. There's so just getting drunk in the parking lot. When's the last time that you had a problem with a cop?
I think it was the end of 2019. I got pulled over. I blew a stop sign, and I also didn't have a license, and the car wasn't in my name, and there was no insurance. But I only got a ticket for the driving with no insurance.
That's a good one. It's amazing.
The guy that pulled me over was at my house like the week before because my mom stabbed her boyfriend. So he was like, I need you to get your shit together and get the fuck out of there. So I'm just going to give you the no insurance ticket.
I remember last time we talked. My mom is like the same as your mom. Like my mom is a tweaker.
My apologies.
Fuck. Was a tweaker. She was a tweaker. She died. But she was a tweaker. And we would get pulled over every time I was in her vehicle, we get pulled over. She's never been in jail. She's never had any problems. And they would pull me out of the vehicle and I'd be like, what's going on? Like, oh, you already have like a PFN or like a government issue thing for jail. And I was like, okay, so have I breaking laws? Like, no, we're just going to search you. And it's like, I want to get back in the vehicle. And I would argue it, and my mom would be yelling, and they try to pull my mom out. Mom's like, I've never been in jail. I've never had any problems with the cops. So I'm not getting out of my vehicle. And you pulled my kid out, and I'm literally giving him a ride from here to here. And I would just be like, I haven't done anything wrong. And so my mom would scream at the cops for an hour. Or 30 minutes, however long we were there. They'd be like, dude, what's wrong with your mom? And I was like, you don't know Mexican moms? I was like, she's going to scream until she's going to scream.
My mom would just scream for no fucking reason. If she was not laughing, she was screaming. It didn't matter what was going on. She could be having a good time. She's fucking yelling at you.
No, my mom was a different breed. When we went to 7-Eleven and we would go in to get cigarettes and food and stuff, nachos. We like to get nachos. And on her way out, she would encounter a big Simone guy. And they would talk shit to her, and she would throw that shit at them and try to fight them. And I'd be behind my mom being like, dude, okay, Mom. And so I'd have to like argue with the Simone guy and be like, hey, that's my mom. Let her go. And they just want to fight. And I'd be like, oh God, we got to fight now. So I have to fight with the Simone guy. And thankfully, there'd always be someone at the front that would be like, this little guy is fighting with this big Simone guy. I got the shit beat out of me numerous times because of my mom. That's the answer to that.
I didn't have that so much as I had to fight my mom. So sorry for the preamble is going to be a little bit of a trauma dump. Ignore the preamble for the most part. So my mom had this big like victim complex because my dad fucking offed himself. And I look a lot like my dad. So she would get drunk and pissed off and be like, fuck you, Bill, and try to fight me because I looked so much like him that I was like triggering her or whatever the fuck. And I also had to step between her trying to fight other people a lot. And I had to be like, fucking calm your horses. I wasn't trying to argue with the other people. I was like, Mom, you need to chill the fuck out. I was like trying to hold her back from fighting people.
My mom would start fights with people when she was really spun out, and I'd be with her, so I'd have to fight them. And I wasn't against it, but there's some people that really hurt me. It's a good answer, in my opinion.
You shouldn't have to put your kid in that position, but I'm not a mother, so my
Meth puts
opinions on
people in
parenting
weird
don't count.
situations.
It does.
I liked her. She was funny. I like my mom. She was really funny. We would go to these certain diners and go eat at like 2 a.m. And they knew my mom, and it was awesome. We'd eat chicken fried steaks and hang out, and the bill was never as much as I would assume, but I worked all the time, and she would catch me when I used to work nights. I used to clean parking lots in the Bay Area at the time. I cleaned parking lots, and I would go and find the homeless people in the area and be like, "Hey, do you want to change trashes and do things?" And they'd be like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, I got like an 18 pack of beer. I'll give you some beers and some cigarettes. Just change all the trash." And so I made friends with a lot of the homeless people in places that I would do that stuff. It was easy, and spending like 30 or 40 bucks a night to not have to work was great for me. I worked nights. That's what I did. From southern Los Gatos all the way to, I think, northern Milpitas, I did it. I remember giving a ride one time from a guy that ran away from. He got out of jail. He had some reason hopped out of Milpitas like holding. And he's running across the highway. And I stopped and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I just ran away from like getting out of jail." I was like, "Dude, get in my vehicle." And I gave him right into San Jose, and gave him like 20 bucks and some cigarettes. I was like, "Fucking run, dude, run."
Hell yeah, get out of here.
In the news real quick. Well, no, he was caught pretty quick. But it took him like 3 days till he got caught. In my opinion, I think that's real quick. But I thought it was funny. I just saw him run across 880, and I was like, "Hey, come over here, dude. What are you doing? You get killed." "Oh, I just left." Blah, blah. I was like, "Gosh, just get in." Like, I don't know. I don't want to hear. I want to hear. I mean, I'm 42 years old, so I've been through a lot of stuff in the Bay. I've seen so much shit go down. If you ever went to Gilman, you ever been to Gilman?
No.
You know what Gilman is?
I know roughly where it is.
Okay, 924 Gilman's like a little bit off of the interstate, and it's like right next to a certain amount of like housing and stuff. But 924 Gilman is like a beautiful place to grow up. A lot of people that did sounds like that end up becoming Liz ended up becoming the sound person for Jawbreaker, for Rancid, for the Lindas, for, I mean, you name it. Like, that chick was just a dyke that showed up, and she learned how to use a soundboard, went into, I guess, like working for local venues, and she ended up being the sound person for like Rancid all over the world.
Hell yeah.
So it's like it's like a small world, you know?
Someone a while ago asked, have you met any other like semi-famous homeless people other than Brandon being out?
Jose Sanders.
You met Jose Sanders?
If you call him so. Yeah, Brandon Jose
I would call him
Sanders.
infamous. Swampy said fake story. I don't know if it's
No, he's
fake,
a little
Swampy.
bitch.
Jose Sanders is a little bitch.
When I ran into him, he had a dog named Cypress.
Mm.
And he was at a truck stop. My buddy Nestle, I dated his baby's mama. Nestle has way better stories. Because I ran into him when he had Cypress, and I was like, oh, this guy sucks. I didn't know who he was.
Mm.
I just thought he was like a fat, belligerent piece of shit. When I ran into Nestle, he was like, oh, I know that guy. Like, I've hung out with that guy. And I beat him up. And he was telling me how that guy's dog was trying to fight his dog was like the nicest dog in the world.
Mm.
And he told me a story about how he had to beat up Jose Sanders. And I was like, how did you do that? He's like, he screams. He's a screamer.
Oh yeah.
When you punch
he
him,
doesn't look like he can defend
screams.
himself. He looks like a call for help type of guy. He's gonna turtle and yell.
And Nestle is not a guy that like puts hands on people either. I have to say that. If you push Nestle to beat you up, dear God, you did some stupid shit. Jose at that time was not a train rider, and he was just hitchhiking around. I believe it was like Indiana or a state around that. And he ended up getting beat up, I think, a week later, 2 weeks. That's when he ended up with the raccoon eyes.
Okay.
You ever seen him with the raccoon eyes? It was like
Yeah.
a week or two later after Nestle met up with him. He had pissed off real train riders. And he got beat up. Brandon
He does
is just
run his mouth a lot.
Brandon's just like a stereotypical vagabond, our vagabond guy.
Mm. Well, he created the subreddit.
I was the one that started putting up the bums in our vagabond.
Mm. Up the bums, folks. Up the bums.
You can figure out who I am if you go to our vagabond and figure who up the bums are.
Why hasn't Brandon
didn't
got
come
what
up
yet?
with it. Brandon didn't come up with that on himself. Like, that was something Brandon picked up. It was always like "Oi Pollo Oi" or casualty stuff, like "Up the Punks." So we always did "Up the Bums," and Brandon grabbed it. That's Brandon's like claim to fame, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's his claim to fame, but I think his more quotable stuff is that I'm a cool guy and everybody knows me.
I'm just like impressed that he has a gay stalker.
I'm also impressed, but I can't do anything about it. You know? Bong hole kind of guy. Chat says he's not, though. Do you know the real him? His mom pays for him to hop between random women's couches.
Do you have proof that Brandon jumps between any couches?
Well, we did when he was going live frequently. He hasn't been going live in the last couple months, but we did have the timelines between each couch he was going to.
Yeah, but like, do you guys really know where he's from? Like, is he allowed to go home?
I don't think he's allowed to go home right now because the last time he was in Georgia, the whatever court person he saw was like, if you get in trouble here again, you're going to fucking jail. Someone said he was going back to mom's because he broke his phone, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. Chat's saying he's home right now.
How do you know that? Like, how could you know that he's home?
Well, yeah, I don't know that. Other people look at the Reddit. I don't go on Reddit unless I'm like sent a link to directly look at a post.
No, I'll go through our Vagabond like once or twice a week, and I'll go through a slew of like snark pages that I like. But the thing about Brandon is that he's a character of very easy ways to decipher if that's who's posting. And usually he only like really hits certain threads if he feels like it's intimidating his like personality.
Mm-hmm.
He'll post on his own, but if he's like offline, he will hit some of those threads. Don't be scared about it. Like, he does that.
I'm not scared about it.
I'm just so impressed that like he has a fucking stalker named Jeremiah. I think it's funny.
We haven't heard from Jeremiah in a few days. I hope he's okay.
I do not. I hope Jeremiah got beat up. Jeremiah's a fucking stalker.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
I mean, honestly, Jeremiah's a fucking stalker. He's stalking a homeless man.
He was a bullfrog. Smoking a mom.
What's going on in the chat?
Jeremiah was a bullfrog in the chat. Smoking at moms in the chat. Did Brandon check up with that lady? I don't think he went to that lady's house because people are saying he's at mom's. He would call mom for bail and Amtrak. You know what's funny? It's easier to find stuff on Brandon with Jer doing this. That is true. I found things about Brandon that I didn't even know existed until Jer was going through it. Jer went so far as to find his MyFitnessPal posts, and I guess we weren't. I was watching his stream while he was going through the MyFitnessPal posts.
Who does that?
I don't know.
Who goes that deep?
I wouldn't go fucking calorie tracker deep, but I'm not Jeremiah.
That's some wicked shit right there.
I
have a lot of cows. I have a lot of cows.
The person that was archiving them says that they
that.
stopped because they were enabling Jer. Like, Jer was finding more things because we were archiving the videos, and that's when that stopped.
Dude, Jer's a stalker. But that's the only reason. That's the only way to say it. Jerry's a stalker. You can be totally in love with someone, I guess, that you've never met, but that shit's stalker. Like, that's insane.
What homeless guy tracks calories? I think it was 15 years ago. Brandon was a little meatball. It was before he was homeless. He was a little meatball guy. That's why he had the calorie tracker.
Blip blorp. Come on, Blip blorp.
Come on, Blip blorp. Blip blorp's not
It's
drinking,
free.
so I don't think he's gonna want to
free.
join. It's free.
I have been
Join the
drinking
panel. It's free.
all day. I just wish Blip blorp like showed his face and then showed his man titties and like jumped around.
He says he's naked in bed.
I wish he just showed himself. I feel like Jose Sanders and Mr. Armenian, Brandon, I feel like they have the same amount of followers, and they are at a certain, as a person that I've seen so much like parasocial situations, they have the same amount of followers, but they just have so many different names.
Yeah. I know a lot of the people following Brandon are the same people following Jose, and I know that some of those people, 10 accounts, are the same person because they keep getting blocked and they got to keep coming back on a new account.
Well, look at Rocky Horror. Like, he doesn't do lives anymore. Why?
What happened with that? I have no idea what happened with that.
I'm not in the Discord. I got kicked out of the Discord because I yelled at everyone when I was really drunk. So Tony Hawk's in Discord, and Tony Hawk doesn't even know how to use the Discord. But we really don't know. We have not figured that out. I've asked him numerous times. He's like, I don't know why. I'm like, you have like the inside door, and he's just like, I don't know how to look at it. It's all right, cool. But it's the same thing. Like, there is a huge following for Jose, but a lot of them has shut it out. Blip Blorp, you can come in here and you can explain it.
There's a little blip blorp in all of us. Throw a penny in a well. We are all blip blorp.
God, blip blorp from my heart. God. I wish I could go to that liquor store and buy more beer.
I wish you could go to the liquor store and buy more beer too.
You see it? It's over there.
It's a shame they close at midnight.
It's a shame that I ran out of beer right after they closed. Keep smoking the ends of these cigarettes that I have.
Blipwarp says he can't come because he's ashamed of his nudity.
All these cigarettes. All right, before I leave, what do you want to talk about?
We can talk about anything. I don't have a topic in mind.
What do you think that the amount of men that watch you are gay?
I'm a conservative guess would be about 20%.
I think 20% of the men that watch you are homosexuals.
Yes.
Do you think they're a closet, or do you think there's a closet amount?
I think that Jeremiah is the only openly gay man that watches, but the 20% are in the closet.
Was Blip Blorp involved in that?
I don't think Blip Blorp's gay.
Well, no, like I've had gay sex as a human, and I've never really like, grabbed onto it. I just thought it was something you did when you were like high on cocaine. But sometimes I think the term is don't knock it till you tried it, right?
Right.
And then you try it, and then you're just like, oh, that wasn't really cool. But it's cool, like in my opinion. As I guess to all the MAGA people, liberals try everything and see if it's okay. But eventually you're just like, dude, not my cup of tea. If it's your cup of tea, that's great. That's why they always think that me and Tony Hawk are like sucking each other off. It's like they think we're all gay guys. It's like, yeah, Tony Hawk's like a very unstable. He doesn't wash his wiener. He's a really disgusting like human.
Mm.
I don't know if you'd want to put that in your mouth, but I wouldn't.
I was never going to. Never had the plan to.
No, I never would do that. But I guess I'm saying is like, when I was younger, yeah, I tried gay sex. It wasn't for me.
Were you topping or bottoming?
I think I was topping.
Okay.
New Mexico 2022, had sex with a couple transgenders, railed them for a while, got callbacks, and I was just like, I don't want to go back. I was really drunk. It was really fun, but not going to do that. And then you have to go get tests and stuff.
Yeah, you got to get tested regularly.
Yeah, so I'm not too interested in gay sex, in my opinion. But don't knock it till you try it. That's the answer.
That is the answer. Everybody do butt stuff tonight and tell me if you're gay or not tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, like, go find a transgender and rail them and see if it's okay. Blip Blorp, I'm looking at you.
Bliplorp said that trying gay sex made him MAGA.
God, that's crazy. Did you?
He also
Did you
said
watch?
just pour some Four Loko on his dirty dick.
Did you watch how the chick that was interviewing Trump was like, "Hey, this is like what everyone has said about you," and then he instantly was like, "You're a shitty human."
No, I
You're
try
the
actively
biggest
to not
piece of
watch
shit.
politics because it makes me want to blow my brains out.
It was really funny because, in my own opinion, because I've seen people lie, and whatever Trump's doing is a lie. But when they brought up gay sex, sex with children, pedophilia, yada yada, he did exactly what every straight man would do.
Mm.
It's okay to be gay. It's okay to like have those moments. That's fine. But the way that was like, it's not okay. But Blurp, I'm gonna drink a lot of booze tonight.
Hell yeah. Bliplorp keeps saying he wishes he was gay. I don't know if he's joking. Smug bum.
Well, if you ever had like a lot of girlfriends and you went through all those trials and tribulations, you're just like, man, I wish I was gay, because I really like women, but they always like put me into situations like very negative. I wish I was gay. I wish I could date another guy because it would be a lot easier. Does that make sense?
I could see the train of thought, but I don't think it's any easier to date men than it is to date women. From personal experience. I've dated both. I've dated both men and women. I don't think it's any easier.
Do you use a strap-on?
Yeah. If I'm dating a woman, I'm the top. Yeah.
I can appreciate that. When one of my girlfriends stopped dating me and started dating a man, and when they broke up with that man and we met up, she was like, I didn't realize how much I like topping men. And I was like, whoa, 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 like we never did that. And she's like, oh no, when I dated this new man, I was topping them. And I was like, oh, that's insane. And we hung out and like smoked weed, and our dogs knew each other for years. But the whole time I was just like, wow, it's like a mind-blowing sentence.
Mm.
You know, and eventually she went back to that man numerous times, and she kept coming back years later while I was in Texas or Missouri. We go travel here. We love each other, like we're friends. But the whole idea is just like, oh God, like we're never gonna have sex again. Like it's over. Like right there, it's over.
You're not trying to get topped by a lady?
No, I don't really like things in my butt. It just doesn't feel good.
Mm.
Put stuff in your butt. You know, sometimes you just realize that's not a good idea.
I can't relate.
You understand? Well, it's because you're the one putting in people's butt.
I'm also on the receiving end, so I don't understand how people could not like the receiving end.
I think there's a difference between being a top and being a bottom, I guess.
There is a big difference. I don't know. You don't necessarily have to be a bottom to be into anal, you know?
Yeah, but like if you're not into anal, you're just not into anal.
I guess.
If you've
Where's
ever
Jeremiah?
met
Jeremiah's been missing for days.
If you're met a transgender woman and they're not into anal, but they're into giving anal, you're just like, oh, we should just not hang out. And they're just like, why are you so upset? It's like, oh, I know I am upset because you're really cute, but you're not a person I want to have sex with.
Understandable. Try calling Jer. I don't know if I want to do that, folks.
Jer's not going to answer. We're going to call Jer.
He hasn't
so
been active in multiple days.
So Jer's probably dead.
I hope not. I know you feel differently, but...
Well, no, I hope he isn't dead, but it sounds like he's dead.
Maybe he's finally had sex, Flip Blorp says. And that's why he's offline.
He is a virgin.
He said a few words earlier today.
Blip Blurp, do you follow him? Are you following this?
No. Buttercup said that. He said a few words in the Discord earlier today. Yesterday says psychiatric hold, but it hasn't been long enough for a psychiatric hold. It would have been like at least 7 days.
I mean, if you got a psychiatric hold, it would be a long time.
Yeah. The minimum psychiatric hold I've ever had has been 7 days. They keep you for at least a week, because after that's when insurance will kick you out.
No, they held me for 72 hours one time. They had to leave me. They had to let me go.
Mm.
Well, if you eat a lot of drugs, they're going to take you to jail. But they don't take you to jail. They take you to the mental hospital.
Yeah.
2018, wild year.
It was a wild year for everybody.
I'm old.
Man.
Like I've been through it. I've been through it a lot. I was so happy to see my dog. God, that was a fucking great day. And the worst part is when you have like $1,000. You're just like, dude, I'm gonna go fucking ape shit. And you do. Like you get your dog and you just go buy a bunch of booze, go hang out at the beach, get shit faced, black out, wake up in a motel room, have 2 people you don't know in there. You're doing cocaine with them. You're just like, God, I spent $400 one night.
I've never done cocaine, so I guess I can't relate.
It's because, well, that's younger. I guess you're younger generation. This
It's
is before
not even that.
fentanyl.
It's so like, I tried to buy coke one time when I was like 15, and it was too expensive. And I was like, I can get double the weed for this. Fuck that. And then never tried to buy it again.
That's your answer.
That is literally what happened. I never did coke because it was too expensive the one time I tried to buy it. This was 15 years ago.
Usually a gram of marijuana costs like $15-$20, right?
Yeah. This was
A gram of coke-
pre-legalization. This is so they wanted me to spend $80 for a gram of coke, and I was like, I'm gonna get $80 worth of weed to suck my dick.
A gram of good cocaine is worth $80, in my opinion. Like good cocaine though, like not shitty cocaine. But it's really like what you're doing with that cocaine that matters.
Mm.
Like, you can do it alone, I guess. But if you do it with the right people and you listen to a bunch of music, like, it's really fun. But if you're just doing cocaine alone, okay, now you have a problem.
Jeremiah is all black. That's why he won't show face. A gram of coke makes you feel crazy for hours. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know if it makes you feel crazy for hours, but it was very fun. I remember when they were building the Santa Clara Stadium for the 49ers.
Mm.
And I would get a gram of cocaine, get on my bicycle, and ride around it or in it. And I would make miles. I used to eat LSD and do that. And I would go back to the house I stayed at where my dog was. And I would put my bicycle up and walk my dog for like 2 hours at like 5 a.m. So I don't know if doing cocaine alone was bad, but I remember eating LSD and doing that, and I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
Being a drug addict and being a drug user is two different stories, people. Just because I like using drugs doesn't mean I'm an addict. Yeah, like I liked using drugs, and I never really bought more. They were just stuff that popped up at times, and you ate them, like mushrooms or mescaline, or if you've ever been in a K-hole, or if you ever really there's so many different ways to use drugs, and if you never went back to eat more, it shows you're an addict.
Yeah. I can agree with enjoying drugs does not make you a drug addict. I can use hallucinogens like twice a year and not have to go back and get more as soon as I'm done.
Do you and Troy use drugs together?
I want to say yes, but the answer is no. So we have done hallucinogens together and we smoke pot together, but he was on harder stuff before we got together, and then like a couple of times throughout when we were together, but I've never done the harder stuff.
My girlfriend and me, when we were together, would eat mushrooms and take LSD and mescaline and DMT. We'd lift off together. I never liked doing DMT. I did it a few times with her, and I was like, I just don't want to do it with you. I'll do it alone. Personally, I'll do it alone, but I will not do it with you. They were more of an enthusiast for psychedelics, and I was more of a I want to do cocaine, and I want to do certain things on my own, and you just kind of grow out of it because of the fentanyl.
Yeah,
changes you.
It's scary.
You don't want to die. You don't want to die just because you're doing cocaine. You don't want to die just because you're doing some type of ketamine or whatever. But
right.
you in the 20 teens, yeah, I did a lot of that. I'm like, eat a dick, everyone that has a problem with it. But yeah, being a drug user is different than being a drug addict.
Yeah.
2020 is like when everything changed.
But fucking COVID ruined everything for everyone.
I remember going to a pot farm and on my birthday going up to the top of the hill.
I'll see you in the morning.
And And they asked me what I wanted to do, and I told them I just want to go to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And I want to check my voice messages. And that was the stupidest thing to ever do. That was the worst thing to ever do. Because, like, 3 of my friends died. And so I spent my birthday on top of this hill in Humboldt crying. Because 3 of my friends died that last month. And they're some of my best friends.
I'm sorry for your loss.
That's cool. I appreciate it, but they made those choices, and I couldn't. When you go through loss like that, you just don't have any feeling for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just never go back. That amount of money, I thought was something I wanted. You guys ever walked away from a fucking hill with like $25,000?
No.
It's like you walk away from a hill with like a lot of money, but you lost like the people that you were going to go meet up with. So you're like stuck with all this fucking money. Like,
and no one to share it with.
I was supposed to meet up with like this guy, and like his mom's calling you and crying, and it was a sad time. Sad time. Money doesn't. That's what I learned that year. Is like I should have been poor. I should have just hung out with my friend. Or just been poor. I feel bad about it. That money didn't change anything. It just prolonged a lot of regret and demise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever just went on a long binge, but I didn't end up dying, and I wished it happened, but you know, you put all that money towards booze and cocaine and even heroin. I mean, you just don't die. It's the fucked up part. Just like, how do they die?
Well, supposedly, if you don't die, it means you're evil, and God is punishing you. That's what I've heard, at least.
I'm an evil person, then. My buddy had left and went up to Alaska and started a whole new life. And he was doing good. He was like a manager of a pizzeria, and he had a place to live. He was like, come hang out with me in Anchorage. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going to Alaska, dude. I'm going to go to the pot farm. It's like, all right, go to the pot farm and I'll meet up with you. And he came down because his dad died. And the marshals grabbed him at his dad's funeral.
Damn.
He went through he got released like pretty quick. He was in jail for a month. I don't know if he dropped dimes or whatever. He got out. And when I came back, he had already OD'd. He'd been out like 6 days. Yeah, like he was already getting taste when he got out of jail. I was like, oh, you died like 6 days too soon, son. And his family always said he died of pneumonia. I was like, that nigga didn't die from pneumonia.
Some people want to
died
save
from
face.
fucking hair. Thanks for listening to me.
Thanks for sharing.
Don't matter how much money you have, I ain't gonna take your friend back.
That is true.
I took that guy hitchhiking around America. I used to stop to get LSD so he could trip. He used to fly a sign that said "Still my face." He
Steal my
would piss
face.
a lot of people off with that one. Still my face. You know what that means?
No.
So if you go to a Dead and Company show, or you go to like a street or fish or any type of hippie thing, "Still my face" means like give me some acid, or like
Okay.
steal my identity. And he would fly that, and a lot of people would get mad at him. But for me, I would just like walk around and talk to people, and I get asked. And so me and him hung out from parts of Washington all the way down to like mid California. And he just wanted to eat drugs. The whole time I was just like smoking a lot of weed, drinking a lot of beer. I didn't want to trip balls every day, and I didn't want to eat mescaline every day. I like reality. I like coffee and cigarettes and stuff. But when you watch that type of guy like go through that, you just kind of know that they're just gonna die.
It's like a death wish. They're like, how much can I do before my heart just fucking gives out?
He got into a fist fight with this roommate I had, and the roommate was he was like 60 years old, and he was an old ski bum, from Denver or Utah, and he was a surf bum. On his younger ages, he lived over in Oahu and places in Hawaii. And when I met him, he had this like really, really cheap, shitty fucking spot. And he just wanted $250 a month for half the rent. And I remember being like, dude, I'll give you $250 a month. That's no problem. And we started showing up, and we soon realized that the guy who's running the house, the ski bum, had a pill problem. And so my buddy had the pills. He can go find them or get them or whatever. They made friends thick as thieves, these two. And the old man always called it monkey junk. That's the way he said. He's like, you guys got any monkey junk? And I was like, I don't know what that is. And my buddy would be like, oh, I got monkey junk. And I was like, what is it? He's like, oh, he just wants pills. I was like, why is it called monkey junk? And he's like, oh, he just wants the pills. And so he was feeding the old man pills, and the old man was trading him this like old weed that we had. He'd bring it in my room. It's like, oh, this is so dry. Like, let's rehydrate it. He's like, how do we do it? And I was like, well, we're going to take it out of the bag and put it in this like 5-gallon barrel, and I'm going to like put a bunch of water into this clay chip. I'm going to throw it in there. He's like, really? And I was like, well, it's what I do with my American Spirit bags. That's what we're going to do with this. And so we'd rehydrate this, and he goes sell it. But the old man had water ass. That's the way to say it. You ever met an old guy that was like on pills, that didn't get pills, He's like watering out of his ass.
Yeah.
That's what he did. And him and homeboy like made friends, and so that's what they did together. And then they got mad at each other, and there was like dismay at some point. And when the pandemic happened, I remember showing back up in the area, and I was hanging out waiting for a ride. And that old man rolled up on a fucking bicycle. And he was like taunting
bicycle?
me. He was making, he rode up on a bicycle and he was making fun of me. And I was like, all right, whatever, John, like piece of shit, like fuck you. And he's like, all right, whatever. I'll remember this. And I was like, yeah, whatever, remember, John. So one day I was flying a sign. And I remember that day I got like $100 bill. It was right before John rode by and made fun of me for like holding cardboard. I bought that week a $3,000 pickup. I drove to my friend's house. I talked to him, hung out with them, and grabbed all of the stuff I had saved at their house. And when I was driving down the street, John, and he's riding a bike, and I honked my horn. And I yelled at the window, "Go fuck yourself, John." And John looked at me and stopped. And he's like, you have a truck? And I honked twice. I was like, "Go fuck yourself, bitch." And I drove by. Fuck that guy, dude.
Did he water his bike seat?
That's after homeboy died. No, man, I fuck that guy. fucking Mr. I'm working. I make so much money. Blah, 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 blah. You're riding a fucking bicycle, dude. I literally all money during the pandemic and you're living in a rent-controlled apartment talking shit to homeless people. Like, fuck you, John.
Fuck John. Rent controlled is one step above homeless. Get off your fucking bike, brother man. Get off your high bike. Chill out.
He got so mad that I was like making more money than him flying a sign. Thank you, Milky. Thank you for that. To win when you're homeless. My hand is shaking.
Gotta get the wins when you can.
I have been such a nice guy to so many people to be put down from the guy that I saved him from homelessness. And he was just like, I couldn't get a roommate to save my life. I was like, yeah, I totally ran a room from you. And then he's just like asking my friends for like heroin. Monkey Junk Man. He's
Fuck
dead.
that guy.
Like there's no way around it. John's dead. No, he's already died.
Leaking out the
There's
ass
no way
all
he's
over
alive.
this place.
There's no way. Milky, that was the best feeling in the fucking world. Everyone's getting that PUA pay. I never got PUA pay. I worked Craigslist gigs. I spanged and flew a sign. I saved all my cans. It took me a month and a half to save up $2,500. And everyone's like stuck inside. They can't go outside. They're like, oh, I'm so afraid of this cough. And the whole time I'm working, going out of my way, I have to spend six feet. I had to wait in front of 7-Eleven every fucking morning to go inside to buy cigarettes. You remember that?
I do. I worked.
You remember
I was
that
working
6 feet
fast food
shit
during
like,
COVID. I had to wear a mask in a fucking 90-degree kitchen every single day. Fuck that shit.
I got a job. Working at a Applebee's, and it paid $22 an hour. And I have glasses, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, and fog that shit right up.
Yeah, and so I quit that day. And the manager was like, "You don't want to work here?" I was like, "I will totally work here if I do not have to wear a mask. But I will not work here if I have to wear a mask."
Mm.
He's like, "You have to wear a mask. It's the government mandate." And I was like, "I'd rather be homeless. I'd rather not work. I cannot see. It is
Right.
more of a hazard for me to try to chop things
When
to
you
do
can't see
prep.
what the fuck you're chopping, yeah. It's way
I
more
have no
dangerous.
idea what's going on. I have to go into the walk-in, out of the walk-in. You just took a 5-hour job and made it a 12-hour job.
Yeah.
So you did to me." And he's like, "Well, you're gonna get paid. You're gonna get paid for it." And I was like, "I'm not here for the hourly wage to be more. I'm here just to like make $200 a day and leave. Like, I just want to make this amount of money and leave. That's it." He's just like, "You can't do that. You have to have the mask." And my girlfriend hated me. I remember that. My girlfriend was so fucking mad. She's like, "You quit this job because of this?" And I was like, "You don't wear glasses. Go and do it.
That
Go
hourly
go
wage
in the
is not
cooler."
worth losing the tip of your finger because you can't see what the fuck you're prepping.
I literally would make that money every day just doing what I did. I could go recycle cans. I could go work off Craigslist. I could
Mhm.
just go and hustle. I could buy an ounce of weed and then go sell it to my. I could go ask my friends for LSD and then go sell LSD. I mean, it didn't matter. It was 2020, 2021. You know, like, what the fuck did it matter what you did for money? No one was calling the cop. The cops aren't going to show up on you. That was the other part. If someone called the cops on you, the cops never showed up. Or if they did showed up, they'd spend 6 feet away from you, right?
They were still showing up for domestics, I tell you that. They were still showing up for domestics.
When I was in San Antonio, those cops spent 6 feet away from me. When I was in Austin, yeah, same thing with the cops. 6 feet away. "Oh, you're doing something wrong." It's like, fuck out of here. Get back on your bicycles. Ride somewhere else. You found me because you're on a bicycle, you dirty bitch.
Mhm.
I've been sitting here drinking beer for 2 days. You just found me. Get the fuck out of here. No one cares.
He's been sitting around doing nothing. You got to get out on that bike with your leaky ass.
Dude, we went across the country and back during the pandemic, hitchhiking. I remember I rode 3 freight trains during the pandemic, and one of my buddies was like, "What are you doing with your life?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just like hanging out, smoking a bunch of weed." Well, so you better get on this train with me, and you better go. You better go. I was like, "All right, me and my dog get on." We got on. We rode 800 miles or something the first time, and I was just like, "Dude, my dog hates this." He's like, "We're gonna get a unit." And I was like, "All right, cool. Get on a unit." My dog still hates it. We ride junk. My dog still hates it. And after that third ride, I was like, I don't want to ride trains. My dog doesn't want to piss. We have to get off the train, and you guys have helped me like pull him off the train so we could piss, and we all pissed next to him at some point so we could piss. And it's like, dude, he just doesn't like riding trains, and I don't want to do it. I rode trains prior. That was fine. But like, I have an old dog.
Right.
He doesn't like riding trains. And you know what I'm going to tell you? Fuck Jose Sanders. Because
Fuck
that
Jose
kid
Sanders.
he's never rode trains. Not like that. Not with friends that love you. Not in situations that you're just riding from one place to another because it's fun. Jose's riding trains to show YouTube. He's not riding trains because he has camaraderie or he's making miles. because it's easier than hitchhiking, he's riding trains for YouTube. Fuck Jose Sanders.
Fuck Jose Sanders. Scratch Coast, I just saw right now your request 36 minutes ago for a link share, but I'm not able to open the link. Can you post the link in the chat so I can click on it? You're modded over there, so it should be able to go through.
I want to see it.
I gotta wait for him to send the link. If he's even still here.
Yeah, yesterday's right. We are trauma dumping. Come on panel yesterday.
Yesterday has mic issues. She has to share a mic with the roommate, and the roommate's using it.
Amtrak on mommy's money isn't riding trains. Why do you? Okay, buddy. Let me ask you where you cut out of.
You said what?
Read that last one. I'm apparently riding Amtrak's.
Brandon is the one riding Amtrak's. She's talking about how Brandon's mom pays for Amtrak tickets and how he's not actually hopping freight trains.
You know, if you can afford an Amtrak, I'm not going to make fun of you. And if you ride an Amtrak today, I don't know what it's like, but I remember riding an Amtrak in 2006 and 2007, and they were really stern. I got kicked off in Denver for smoking cigarettes.
McMurphy, that's the StreamYard link.
I'm gonna stick around because I want to see this.
You want to? Oh, whatever. I don't even know if Scratch Coast is still here to send the link. You do need to smoke when the train stops.
We'll talk to the conductor. Talk to the conductor. It isn't the West Coast. Like when you leave Chicago, they tell you are going to this destination, and the smoking car is over when it hits this certain part, and they all tell you there is no smoking anymore. And I didn't listen.
Do they like kick you out? Or do they just be a bitch?
I just remember taking that ride to LA. It sucked.
Good night, yesterday. We love you.
Milky,
the smoking car would be awesome. What year is this?
Oh, it was like 2007, 2006.
Okay.
What year? How old were you in 2006, Milky?
I was 8 years old.
In 2006, I was 22 years old.
Blip Warp was 17.
Blurp also has a big dick.
I cannot confirm or deny. I have not seen it.
I've seen his man titties, and I believe it is big.
All right. You heard it here first, folks. Blip Warp confirms. People smoked on the Amtrak that Unwell took. What year was this? Was this recently?
They
True Moon
stopped
wants to suck
doing
it?
smoker trains. They stopped doing smoking trains like a long time ago, guys.
2018? That was
So
almost damn
close,
10 years
Trump.
ago now.
Because of Trump, we don't have smoking trains.
So I'm almost ready to
get
make my
yelled.
second drink.
Get yelled at 2 times a day when I'm flying a sign about how Trump is going to change America and I should stop being a bum. I'm like, let's talk about it. And they just drive away. Every time I'm just like, dude, what did I do? I thought we were talking.
It's exhausting to talk about it. That's why I don't like to engage in the political stuff, because a lot of people don't actually want to have a conversation about it. They want to stonewall you and make like bad faith arguments. It's just easier to avoid it altogether.
Yeah, they always say it when they're driving away, like little bitches.
Mm.
I'll argue with you in person, but the whole time it's just like, how do you think that what you're saying when you drive away is true?
I mean, I haven't said anything political out the window at somebody, but I have told people to kill themselves in a road rage before, and that felt pretty fucking good to be on the driving end of that. So I'd imagine it feels the same to yell some political shit out the window.
I called Tony Hawk right after it happened, and I was like, a guy on a red golf cart with dual front to back seating with Canadian flags yelled at me how Trump rules. And I was like, Tony, I don't understand. He's like, oh, he was just trying to make everyone feel really good in his cart. And the whole time, I'm just like, I just don't understand why he yelled at me.
He wanted to show off, or he was feeling some type of way, and you happened to be the person there in yelling distance.
I ran into that guy like 3 days later at the Myers, and I saw him, and I smelled horrible. I hadn't showered in a week. I had shit myself. I had pissed all over my pants. I was there buying buffalo wings that I was going to reheat at the gas station, and he was in front of me, and I made a fucking point to go stand as close to him as I could so he could smell me, and he could feel like a piece of shit. Oh, dude, I smelled so bad that day. I guarantee, like, I smelled like everyone could smell me. I had been sleeping in my van for a day. My dog loved me.
Well, yeah, dogs love Steve.
But I had that, like, like sex semen all over smell, and the smell like butthole and like shitting, and I peed all over my pants. I have no disregard for myself. So getting really drunk and doing that is not a big deal. If you don't do that and you're an alcoholic, then you're not an alcoholic. If you've never like pissed all over yourself when you're drunk and then wake up the next day and do it all over again, and eventually you end up to the point you just got to take a day off.
Yeah.
And that guy at the Myers, that was the same guy that yelled at me. And I made it a fucking point to be next to him. Follow him. I even left my cart where it was at to like stand by him.
Just get close. Gotta give him a whiff.
You ever been that close to an old person?
I try to avoid being around old people because I could smell them actively decaying. So I try to keep my distance, whether they're shit butthole or not.
I'm a fucking homeless person, and if I have a bad smell and you have came at me wrong and I find you, I'm going to make it a fucking point to go hang out next to you.
Mm.
I'm going to follow you close to the parking lot, but not into the parking lot. I want you to feel the way I feel.
Mm.
Don't talk shit to me when you drive by in your double dose fucking golf cart.
It's so funny that he was riding around in a golf cart full of people. Was this like a middle-aged guy? How old was this guy? Was it a teenager?
He was old. He was old. He's like 65.
Why are you 65 on the golf cart, brother man? What you doing?
Why are you 65 yelling at a homeless person?
That too.
And if you're gonna yell something, you should yell something prolific. You shouldn't yell get a job. You shouldn't yell they're hiring over here. You should yell you should die. Your generation should just foil. You should yell something that like I would be offended by. But go get a job or this, that. It's like they're not gonna hire Milky. Do you think that Walmart's gonna hire a guy like me?
Walmart won't even hire me. I don't know who the fuck Walmart hires. I fail the application process every time.
I've done the application process to Walmart, and they have so many like weird mind games with the Walmart application. And I've talked to old ladies who work at Walmart, and I'm like, how did I fail the test? And they're like, it's just a mind game. No, really, like everyone in chat, go take the Walmart test. They're going to throw at you this like weird test. And it's not like going to get a job at Arby's. It's just like weird test. And it gives you a certain time and you have to choose all of these. And I don't understand it. I really don't understand it.
I know that a lot of places do the like customer service test and the like money management test and the like personality type test, but the Walmart one is just so overly complicated.
Milky, you should really screen record when you get to the point of the test because it's insane. They have like these tests where you're trying to understand which direction to go or like what is the right answer. They have too many answers, and so you go through it and it's like I've been in a Walmart in Marquette, Michigan, and the lady that told me I could get a job is like, you get a job like working nights, just like stocking shelves. And I was like, all right, so I'll go through the application process, and I fail. And I talked to her, and she's just like, oh, you weren't able to figure out how to do the test, huh? I was like, no, I'm like 40, and it's hard. They have like 4 answers, and they ask 2 questions for an answer. Call me crazy, but I just don't think it's right.
I don't know. I've been told that I'm not claiming this is my situation at all. I've been told that if you are overqualified, they'll also be like, no, fuck you.
That's right. Like, I make a lot of money panhandling, so I'm never going to work again.
Mm.
No, I'm honest. Like, I'm never going to work again unless I run into someone that wants to give me a job that pays me, that understands that I live with a dog. I make so much money. I make so much money being a bum.
How many sex semen buttholes does it pay?
Walmart only hires the most elite applicants. Do not take it too hard. They only select top quarters of 1%.
I've seen some fucking retards working at Walmart. I don't know.
I don't get mad at people that work at Walmart when I ask them questions at all. Most of the time I tell them to walk slow. I usually tell every person that works for anywhere, like, please walk slower. Get paid slower.
Mm-hmm.
Milky, what do you do for employment?
Right now I'm a personal driver of my meat master.
I thought you worked at like a smoke shop.
I worked at a vape shop for like a month, and then like the dude tried to scam me out of my paycheck, and I was like, "Fuck you! I'm not gonna stay here." And I was like, "Pay me, or I'm calling the labor department."
Did you get paid?
I did get paid, yes.
I got screwed one time out of getting paid working for a smoke shop. Can I tell you what I did?
Yeah.
I followed the manager home, and then I called two of my friends, and we had shit and pissed all over his vehicle. Just what we did.
It's very lucky you didn't get a charge on that. So my uncle,
I don't think in California there's a charge for
that. In Washington, there is a charge for that. My uncle is a recovered drug addict, and when he was in his active heroin use, one of the guys that was like his middleman fucked him over, and he shit on the hood of his car, and they tried to charge him with a sex crime for it. It got taken down to like malicious whatever the fuck, or like vandalizing, but they wanted to charge him with a sex crime.
One of my bosses held all of my tools. I didn't know this. I thought he was holding all my tools, but they were at the warehouse where I installed Windows. And when I figured out, because he held it all, it held my paycheck for like 2 weeks. And so when I figured it out, and he took a lot of my tools. Otherwise, people stole tools out of my bags while they were. I didn't know they were there. I just didn't think that there was work. And when I figured it out, I went to his house and threw bricks through all of his vehicle windows.
Power move.
I just. That guy made me more homeless than I was. And I was like, I'm going to fuck you up, dude. I broke every window in his Dodge pickup truck. I broke up every window in his Toyota Tacoma. I broke every window in his 2000 whatever, Demon Charger. I never talked to the cops. Milky.
I guess it would be dumb for him to talk to the cops because he stole the tools.
No, it'd be dumb for him to talk to the cops because he's a fucking weirdo. That guy used to try to get me to go do ridiculous shit with him, and I'd be like, no, I'm going to go home. He's like, do you want to go to the massage parlor and blah, blah? I'd be like, no, I don't want to go to a fucking massage parlor. I got
just going to the massage parlor with my buddy.
No, I don't want to go to massage parlor with you. I don't fucking like you. I'm just here to get money, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hang out with you. After every time we worked, he'd be like, do you want to? I'd be like, no. I want my money and I want to go home. And he's like, you smell. You don't work good. This, that, and the other. It's to be like, dude, well, don't fucking hire me again. Like, just we don't have to talk after this. Like, but I keep working for you because I do a good job installing Windows. I'm a good fucking window installer. I make you look good. But when it came down to, did I piss you off too bad? That's when you held my tools. That's when you held me from having money. That's what you did. And when I got a chance and figure out your address, I would show up at your house and throw bricks through your fucking windows. That's what you shouldn't do to people. You shouldn't withhold money from people who don't have a lot of it. And if you want to fuck with people, they're going to show up at your condominium and fuck up your cars. And I did that for like a year, dude. Like, it wasn't just a few cars. It was like all of his cars. And it was a very fun time. This is right when like actual cameras came into play. And they're really shitty cameras, in my opinion. You can never pin me to that. And I really like those masks that like cover your whole face.
Yeah, the like gators or the skeezies.
The gators. Capitol Parkway. There's 3 ways to leave, and I always knew the one way. Who's Ricky?
I don't know who Ricky is. What's up, Busy?
Oh, they're gonna keep guessing forever. They'll never figure it out.
Was it?
I'm just saying, like, don't fuck with a homeless person and act like they're not gonna come back. Like you held
Right.
thousands of dollars from me. We could have just like not worked together, but you held all my tools and held me away from working. That's the worst thing to do to a homeless person. I lived under a bridge at the time.
Mhm.
Just because someone is homeless doesn't mean they don't work.
Do you have
I
enough
worked the
steam
whole
in you
time.
to like riff for a couple minutes? I gotta piss and make another drink.
I have one. Okay, yeah, I can riff.
Okay, I'll be right back.
What's riffing? I'm gonna read these comments. Ends up wrong address anyways. Oh, blip blurp. Ended up being the wrong. No, it was the right address. Weatherproof glass, folks. Don't throw shit bricks. Flip blurp. Live and learned. Rick Barrick. Man, I wish Blip Blorp wanted to come up. He's a very fun person. Got one there. Not that one. Used to have one up here. Where'd he go? Here. I'll read you guys something from one of my favorite books. I'll read you guys something from one of my favorite books. You have to be long-winded on this one. Put it on the camera. When I was very young and the urge to be someplace else was on me, I was assured by mature people the maturity would cure this itch. When years described me as mature, the remedy prescribed was middle age. In middle age, I was assured the greater age would calm my fever. And now that I'm 58, perhaps senility would do the job. Nothing has worked. 4-horse blasts of a ship whistle still raise the hair on my neck and set my feet to tapping. The sound of a jet, an engine warming up, even the clopping of shod hooves on pavement bring on ancient shudder, the dry mouth and vacant eye, the hot palms and churn of my stomach high up under the rib cage. In other words, I don't improve. In further words, once a bum, always a bum. I hear the disease is incurable. I set this matter down not to instruct others, but to inform myself. When the virus of relentlessness begins to take possession, of a wayward man, and the road away from here seems broad and straight and sweet. The victim must first find in himself a good and sufficient reason for going. This is a practical bum. The practical bum is not difficult. He has a built-in garden of reason to choose from. Next, he must plan his trip in time and space, choose a direction or destination. And last, he must implement the journey, how to go, what to take, how long to stay. This is part of the process, is invariable and immortal. I set it down only so that newcomers to bumdom, like teenagers in New Hatch Sin, will not think but invented it. Once journey is designed, equipped, and put in process, a new factor enters. And over a trip, a safari, an exploration, an identity different from all other journeys. It is personality, temperament, individuality, uniqueness. A journey is a person in itself, not two or alike. All and all plans, safeguards, policing, and coercion are fruitless. We find after years of struggle that we do not take a trip. A trip takes us. Tour masters, schedules, revacanships, brass bound, and inevitable dash themselves to wreckage on a personality of the trip. Only when this is recognized can the blown in the glass bum relax and go along with it. Only when do the frustrations fall away. In this, a journey is like marriage. The certain way to be wrong is to think you're in control. I feel better now, having said this, although only those who have experienced it will understand.
That's a very good passage.
Here, this is the I'm gonna paste it back.
John Steinbeck. Go copy you a book, folks.
Nigga, what? Am I the only one that reads?
I read sometimes.
What do you read, Milky?
Recently, only Lauren's books.
I had a hard time reading everything because I couldn't stop but think that someone was making fun of me when I read it. But I really like that book. I really like John Steinbeck. I grew up near Salinas, California, so I read almost every John Steinbeck album, from The Pearl, Cannery Row, Sweet Thursday, Mice and Men. I read a lot of books from Jack Kerouac.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot of Allen Ginsberg, and then eventually Hunter S. Thompson and Irving Welsh, and a lot of obscure writers. The best thing is like when you have sex with another person that is interested in literature. I think that's like the middle thing about being in your 20s, like when you meet up with someone that's like really into reading books, but not into like meeting people.
Mm-hmm. I guess it depends on the types of books they're reading. A lot of women are reading smut.
Some guy just drove by and yelled, "Go eat some dick, you fucking pedophile."
Is there anyone else in the parking lot, or were they yelling at you?
I don't know. I've never like been here before, so I've never parked here before. I don't know.
Oh, maybe it's because you were in a van. They were like van, chomo van.
No, this is like my first time ever staying here.
Hmm.
I've driven through here. There's a great thrift shop here. But I've never stayed here. This is like the first time I've ever. I was on my way to the UP of Michigan, but I stopped here. I made some food, I drank some booze. I spent almost like all my money drinking booze. My dog ran around. The cops like talked to me briefly when I was doing things, but I didn't really attribute it to me being here. I watched.
Is it like a white panel
3
van?
people. No, I don't have a white panel van. No, I don't live in
That would be the
fucking
only thing I could
van,
see.
No,
I don't know why they yelled pedo. I'm trying to figure that out.
I think it's hilarious. I went to jail one time for beating the shit out of a guy that was a pedo, so it doesn't bother me. You ever went to jail and you're in lockup and everyone's checking paperwork and someone's like, "This guy touched a kid," and you're just like, "Oh, that guy touched a kid?" And they're like, "Yeah, this guy's paperwork says he touched a kid." And I remember being like, someone else checked that paperwork. And they checked the paperwork and they're like, "Yep." And we all just stomped that guy. Just fucking beat the shit out of it.
Good on you.
Well, you ever been in jail?
No, I've never been to jail.
You have to stomp that guy. If you do not participate, you are a pedophile. Or you will be put in a situation where you are a pedophile.
Oh shit, Thikimoto's hosting. Thank you. Yeah. Obviously, if you know there's a pedophile, you have to stomp that pedophile in jail or not.
I watched this one guy with the phone. When a guy that was trying to use the phone, the Simone guy, like grabbed the phone. It was like, "It's my phone," and the guy was like, "No, I need to call my lawyer," and blah 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 blah. And the guy's like, "Hey, this is my phone, and you're not going to use it." And the guy's like, "Well, excuse me, blah blah." And I just remember someone being like, "Dude, sit down and leave him alone." And I watched that fucking big, huge Simone guy grab him by the neck and then beat the shit out of him with the fucking receiver.
Jesus.
That at 20 years old changed my life. I was just like, dude, I've never seen someone get bludgeoned with a phone like that. And he held him up the whole time. He like beat him with that phone. Like the guy was like obviously not coherent after the first few hits. And that dude held him up with his arm and just beat the shit out of him.
That's an incredible amount of strength to not only hold up his weight, but then also be wailing on him.
Simone guys have a lot more weight than you think. They have a lot more muscle than you think.
No, I've seen Simone people. I know they're big guys, but it takes a lot to hold somebody up that's like dead weight.
That guy, after 2 or 3 hits, was like already out. Like his body was limp, and that guy just beat the fuck out of him with the receiver. And I knew at that point in my life that I do not want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Is it
Rock
time to go
Gang
see
says
Thickymoto?
hardcore, dude. He's on. He just hosted over here to have people watch over here. When I end, I'm gonna send the people back over to him.
That was the Guam people when I was in lockup were the coolest because they would just be like, "Hey, come sit, let's talk, let's play cards," and I'd be like, "I'm not gonna get made fun of by like my car." And they're just like, "You're not in a car, you're just an other, and you're gonna have to deal with that when you go back. But we can play Pinochle." So I'd play Pinochle with them. And then the white guys would be like, "Why are you playing Pinochle with the like these others?" And I was just like, I don't want to be riding your car. I just want to like hang out. I'm just waiting for my court date. But if you want to fight, like we can go to the I guess we can go to the showers. And the few times I went in the shower, I was like, I thought we were supposed to fight. And they're just like, no one wants to fight you. I'd be like, oh really? It's like, everyone thinks they're gonna beat you up real quick. They don't want that charge. I was like, oh cool. Like awesome. No one wants to beat me up.
I guess that's good.
That's great. That's a great thing.
I don't know. I've not been to jail, but I went to a long-term psychiatric facility, and I had like 3 of my roommates try to fight me there, but we were all like teenage girls, so that's not quite the same.
We used to go down to this place. We called it Vietnam because it was a bamboo forest, and my buddies would, when we were partying in the bamboo forest with a big bonfire and drinking lots of booze and eating drugs and doing all the stuff you do when you're like in your late teens to early 20s, they figured out that there was a female facility for mentally unstable people in the parking lot where we parked. And so they used to go over there and write their numbers down on pieces of paper and then smack them on the windows with spit. And these ladies
so they can call over.
And they would call us while we were hanging out. And one of my buddies ended up dating them. And one of the chicks' dads was a foot doctor. And so a few months after they had met, and she had gotten out of crazy jail, I think you call it, we ended up at her house party. And I didn't like it. I left. There's a huge thing that happened between like I guess her older brother and the guy that I knew, and that chick and him dated forever. And she ended up getting fake breasts because her dad had a discount from the foot doctor. He was the foot doctor, but he gave the breast doctor like a real big discount on something. So he got his daughter.
So he got a tit coupon for his daughter? That's crazy.
Now, fast forward about 5 years, and she was on Dr. Phil with one of the guys that called the cops on us at that point in time. And she ended up hanging out at the house that I was at in downtown blah, blah, blah. And she was living at like my buddy asked me, and I was like, dude, she called the cops and everyone. He's like, well, she didn't mean to. And it was like, she called the cops on you because you were 18 and she was 17. And she tried to say that you raped her. And he's like, no, that's not what happened. I was like, I read the report. You guys were both like 18 as far as I knew, but whatever. Sounds like you're a rapist in the report. And so she ended up staying at the house I was at. And every time I saw her, I would just turn around and walk away. Or I would like go grab my girlfriend's hand and like walk to my room, or I would do something like just to get away from that chick. And I remember at the time, I was just like, I don't want to be around her. She calls the cops and people, and she put my buddy in jail for 3 months, and he has her here. And so I pulled up the Dr. Phil episode, and I played it nonstop in the living room. And so she would show up, and I would just go to the laptop, plug it in the HDMI, and just play the Dr. Phil shit. And she'd be like, "That's not what happened." I'd be like, "Oh, why'd you put my friends in jail?
Why'd you put it on Dr. Phil if that's not what happened?"
She literally was like cheating on the guy that she had met at the time. When she was saying all this, and they had moved to Seattle, and they were living. He was an EMT driver. He's probably still an EMT driver today, and she was cheating on him, and going every day. He would go to work or whatever EMT drivers do, and so she would leave and go fuck other dudes. So you remember the guy I was telling you about who had the butt? Like he took his butt and so he was living in Coeur d'Alene, and he went to Spokane and ran into her, and he was having sex with her.
He was leaking his ass all over them sheets. That's crazy, dog.
No,
holy shit.
They were fucking. And when I brought it up to my buddy, he's like, "So-and-so was fucking her?" I was like, "Oh yeah, in Spokane, in a Coeur d'Alene." And he's just like, "No way." And I called him on the phone. I was like, "Hey, can you tell Visto, like what's up?" And he was just like, "Oh, yeah, totally." So he just spilled the beans. That chick had no credibility, right? He leaves to go to work. I come back after going with my girlfriend to San Francisco. She gets a whole chest tattoo or something. Takes all fucking day. And when I get back, she has some random dude in my buddy's room. And I walked in because I walk in all the time. That's my buddy's room. And they're fucking, and she's yelling at me, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So when he gets off work, he shows up, and I stop him at the front door. And I'm like, "Bro, that chick has been fucking some random dude and blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Is that it?" And I was like, "She fucked Darren, who lives upstairs." He's like, "Really?" And I was like, "I just found this out." He goes inside, talks to her. She leaves. Darren comes downstairs, and Darren's 5'3". He's 5'9". He beats the shit out of pretty much our landlord. Darren comes outside all beat up. I tell Darren, "You kind of deserve that." He's like, "You guys are getting evicted." And I was like, "All right, Darren." And so I grabbed Darren and start beating Darren.
You also beat his ass, right? Yeah, because you're fucking stupid. You can't get mad. You got caught fucking your tenant's girlfriend, and then he beat your ass because you're fucking his girlfriend. You can't just then evict them. Don't fuck your tenant. What are you talking about? He deserves a triple ass beat for that.
So after I manhandled Darren, my girlfriend comes out and is calming Darren down, and me and my buddy are grabbing I guess it's an armoire, a big armoire, and he's just like, "Help me move this out." And I was like, "I have a skateboard." So we grab skateboards and put them in, and we skateboard them out, and we're skateboarding out all of these I was like, "What are these?" He's like, "Oh, these are the stuff. This is all of her things she's moved in." So I'm just moving things 3 steps down and putting them on skateboards and putting them in the front yard. And she shows up with a guy. And while we're putting them out, we lock the gate. Darren walks over and starts apologizing. My girlfriend explained to him how we're going to probably beat him up way worse later. We were just being nice. That if he's going to kick us out, that we're probably going to hurt him way more. And so Darren comes and apologizes. We're like, "We're not even worried about you." And this guy from this car, she gets out, she starts screaming and flipping out. And this guy from the car says, I'm going to call a whole army of people to come fuck you up. And we're like, okay, we're going to walk around and we'll meet you there. And when we get to the front of the house, me and this guy just like fucking go to town on this dude, beat the crap out of him. And we take his phone and we're like, who are you going to call? Let's call him. I got your phone. Let's call him. And the guy's like, no. I was like, let's call your friends. Let's do it. And then two of our roommates who were working at the bar walk up and we're like, this guy says he's going to call people to beat us up. And they're just like, I think you guys got it covered. And so they just start kicking the guy's mirrors, all of the rear views, all of the turn signals. Like they just broke everything. And we're like, get in your car and drive away and don't come back. Take that chick with you. And we made that chick get in the car and we're like, don't come back. And we opened up all the drawers and all the crackheads came that night and took all of the clothes. And we never saw that chick again.
Yeah, I'd imagine you don't want to come back after that.
Do not come back after that.
Yeah.
That dude said he was going to call like a slew of people. And we're just like, calm. Come back. The week later, oh my God, do you want to hear this story?
Absolutely.
So a week later, I was seeing a chick that was on meth. And I knew she was on meth. Like my girlfriend and me were on rocky territory. My girlfriend had taken off and whatever. But I was seeing a chick at the same time. That's why she took off. I was seeing a chick that was like on meth, but like me and her like made a bunch of art together. I would go to sleep, just make art all night. But she was like, I liked her. We never had sex. We were just friends. And one of my roommates, one of the ones that showed up that night, was like, oh, my girlfriend is on meth too. And I was like, well, that's not really my girlfriend, but it's the reason so-and-so left. And they're really upset. And he's like, oh, I get it. Blah, blah. That chick just wants to suck dick. And I was like, whatever, dude. But his girlfriend had ran off on him down the street to a party house just like ours.
Mm.
And she had said a bunch of stuff about homeboy that wasn't really true. I don't know if it was true. I don't really care if it's true. I knew him for a while. We used to ride bicycles and go fucking run around while I was collecting money from selling drugs. He was a good guy to me. But I had left for a week. I went up to San Francisco to go hang out with a friend. And when I came back, he was back in prison. And I was like, what happened? And my buddy said that these two guys showed up at the front door asking for him. And there was probably 8 of us usually hanging out. Most people played Mario Kart, got really drunk, did lots of blow and
just like
MDMA or whatever. And they just got all fucked up all the time. Yeah, I mean, just like, well, this is like 2012 or 2013 or something. And these guys showed up and they're like, hey, can you come outside? And he's like, hold on, let me put my shoes on. And he walked over to my buddy's room. I used to live in my buddy's room. I used to split it with him. I pay the rent with him. When I got a good amount of money, I bought him. He had this like eye thing where like his eyes were like constantly moving. And he had this small 13-inch screen. So when I got a bunch of money from selling drugs, I bought him like a 40-inch plasma TV and put it in his room. And I was like, this is what you're going to watch now. Like you can't look at you like throw the 13-inch TV away. That was my buddy, but he had all of these samurai swords, and he had sharpened them. He was really good with the samurai sword, and he could kill you. But our roommate had walked in and said, hey, can I see one of your samurai swords? He's like, oh yeah, which one do you want? And he's like, I want the sharpest. he's like, whoa, it's going to be this katana. And he's like, all right, cool. And he grabs this katana, like pulls it out of its sheath, tries to cut paper with it, cuts a bunch of shit, and he's like, perfect. And he walks outside. And he's like, what do you guys want? And they're like, we're going to fuck you up. And he takes that katana, puts it up one guy's arm, slices his armpit, kicks him in the stomach, and takes the other part of the katana and puts it into the other guy.
Jesus.
They're bleeding. They're fucking bleeding out on the porch. And he is screaming, fuck with me. I will fucking kill you and your whole house. They're like running away at this point. And my buddy walks out to have a cigarette, and he's like, what's going on? What are you yelling about? And he's like, oh shit. Did you? And he's like, those guys showed up to kill me. And he's like, you have to hold on to the sword. I cannot take the sword back. So he has a cigarette, and the cops show up. And when the cops show up, Jude has it laying on his lap. And the cops ask what happened. He's like, exactly what you think. They should try to kill me. And they ran away like bitches. So he goes back to prison for like 6 months. I hear about this because I'm in San Francisco and I come back and I'm like, oh, where's so-and-so? Like, oh, he's in prison. I was like, no way. He gets out like 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later after
charges,
attempted murder?
I don't think he actually got charged with what we thought he was going to get charged with. I believe he was awaiting some type, like his parole officer let him out. And when I talked to him, I was like, what did you do? He's like, I defended myself. He's like, legally, what happened was legal. And they saw that. I was like, you fucking sliced them up with a katana. He's like, well, they were on our property. And as far as my lawyer says, they showed up to inflict pain. And California law says, and he just went into it. I was like, dude, you're on parole, bro. Like, whatever. I ended up hitchhiking out, and a year later, I come back. He did 3 months. He did 3 months in jail.
Mm.
The big black guy named Joe that lived at the house, which we all thought was like this big gay guy, which I think he is. But he walked over to that house and made peace and broke bread. Bill Cosby'd them, however you want to say it. But
Bill Cosby'd them?
Yeah, like, ho, 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 let's all eat some fucking pudding, blah, blah, blah. Like, he just Bill Cosby'd him.
But that has different connotations now.
No, I guess, like, back then, before Bill Cosby was a rapist, it made different sense.
Yeah.
He Cat Williams them.
Okay.
Good night, I saw that guy. I saw that guy last time I was in the Bay Area. And I was like, you sliced someone with the katana and got away with it. And he could not stop laughing. He was like, dude, I should have went to prison. That chick never came back. And the curly haired chick that I really like cuddling with never got mad about it.
Oh, I bet she did, yeah.
Dude, growing up in the Bay was fucking funny. I don't know how he got away with that.
I mean,
like,
you can get away with a hell of a lot for self-defense.
There was blood all over the porch, and they're all cement steps all over the cement, and then a trackway all the way over to 2nd Street. Like, it was insane how much blood was. And if you ever seen blood on cement, it turns into a very big spot, and you can't wash it away.
It's so porous that you can't really get rid of it.
those guys came to fight and beat the shit out of that guy, and he came out with a katana and cut them the fuck up.
Did he have
all
like
over some like
a receipt of texts of them being like, "We're gonna come over"? Is that why he was able to get away with self-defense?
No, he got away with self-defense because they came on the property. If it was one of them, I think it would have been negatable that he could have gotten in trouble. But because there was two of them that showed up to argue a fight, I think his self-defense level went up twice. And I don't think the district attorney could really argue two men at, I don't know, it was like 10:30 or 11 at night or something, showing up to talk to him, saying it was just a friendly talk.
Yeah,
and so
especially
I think
if they were known to already be arguing.
Well, and the other thing is they all were on meth, besides the guy in the house. They all had been doing meth with that chick, and that chick had been whispering in their ear this guy was a horrible person and blah blah. But I'd watched that chick at the house and been like, "Dude, you gotta get out of our house." Like she's like start arguing to everyone. It's just like stealing our stuff, and like we're finding it in your room, and you're not a thief. I've known you since I was like 17 years old, and now I'm like 28 or 20. It's like, you're not a thief. So what are you doing with the stuff? And he's just like, I have this girlfriend that's on meth. And I was like, oh, I have a girlfriend like that, like kind of seeing that's on meth. And so we sat down and talked a few times. And I was like, oh, I don't sleep with my girlfriend. I just like let her make a bunch of art in my room. And I like her curly hair, and she's sweet to me. I like her mom, and like, I don't even want to have sex with her. I just like her as a person. And he's like, that's insane. And I was like, yeah, I fuck chicks all the time. This is the most insane relationship I've ever had. I get that. But I like her. And she brings me boba tea.
Hell yeah.
Does anyone bring you boba tea?
I don't like boba tea, so no.
Well, does anyone bring you something like boba tea?
Yeah.
Does Troy bring you drinks that you like?
Yes.
But he doesn't expect sex after.
No.
Exactly. The chick I was going to see in San Francisco was like a tattoo artist, and she was great. But I'd never wanted to. No. I could tell you what collective she was in and how famous she was, or it doesn't matter. Coming back to that, I was like, that's amazing. And no one killed my dog.
That is amazing.
Like if my dog got out of the room when that was happening, he would just maul every one of them. Even the guy with the fucking katana. Oscar would have fucking ate you. He was a very scary dog. When I used to skateboard with him downtown, I would have people chase me, and I would stop and be like, "What's up?" And they would try to roll me, and I'd just take my dog off his leash and be like, "Go." And they're like, "What's up with your dog?" And I was like, "Oh, watch him." And he would just start fucking attacking him. He's like, "Oh, you figured it out real quick, huh? The fuck on, bitch. Come back here, buddy." Well, you ever had a dog that loved you? You know.
Yeah.
You don't put your dog on people when they're gonna hurt you. Man, this dog's gonna kill you. I'm gonna watch it too. I'm gonna fucking watch it, and I'm gonna help him. Put me in jail.
What's up, Jamberg?
Sorry, I just don't have any. I don't have any disregard for you in the middle of the night if you're gonna chase me down and try to roll me. Yeah. And my dog loved me. Put it that way. He died, but that dog, nicest dog in the world. But you fuck with me, he gonna eat you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch that shit. And when you're screaming, I'm gonna ask you, was it worth it? Was $20 worth it? Was $50 worth it? Was $100 worth it? Because I know you ain't got no fucking weapons.
Right.
I mean, Milky, come on. You grew up near Seattle.
I mean, I lived here until I was 8, and then I lived in Indiana until I was about 19, and then I came back. I like did a back and forth thing, so
Dude,
I was like in both places a little bit, but
I grew up in big cities, and if you're gonna fucking run up on someone, you better be waiting for that fucking comeback.
yeah. I would argue you got to wait more for that comeback in the Midwest than here. Here is definitely not as tough of a place to live than over there.
No, and in Seattle, what's the law there? Like, someone can come on your property and start to steal your shit, and a cop can show up, but they can't stop them. They need a second cop to show up, so they have two cops to see it, and then they can stop it.
They need to have two cops because of the officer safety thing.
My cousin lives in Mercer Island. She shot dudes who were in her house, and she had to go to jail and get exonerated by her own lawyer because the law states you need two cops to show up to stop it. And if you shoot someone on your property, you are now a criminal until proven innocent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she spent like 2 days in jail till her lawyer got her out. She shot some guy that was in her house. She has like 3 kids.
We have really weird laws about that. So like she could go to jail for that, but if you wanted to, you could just like go page a cop and be like, come watch me fight this dude. We both want to fight. And you can just legally fight. But you can't shoot somebody that's stealing your shit or you're going to jail.
Someone breaks into your house and you shoot them and they try to sue you.
Yeah.
Even after like she got out of jail, that guy still tried to sue her.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And it's fucking... I think if you catch someone on your property stealing your shit, you should have the right to execute them, but that's just me. I'm a little bit too liberal with my gun beliefs.
That dude ended up not being able to make his case because he was found in the Puget Sound floating. Because he messed with someone that had a lot more people behind them that weren't cops. And they had been living in that area, Auburn or Capitol Hill, or many places prior to owning houses in Mercer Island. And that guy just knocked on the wrong door. That's what happened. All right, I'm going to go.
All right, good night.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. All right, I'm going to send everybody on. Oh, I was going to send everyone back to Thicky, but he's not even live. I'll send you to Specimen TV. Good night, folks.